Aloha, everyone. Michelle Melendez, Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com. I'm really excited because I get to meet with Mayor today and talk to him about the general plan, which I'm going to just share with you guys the presentation I have for him. So it's going to start off with the letter that took hours to create, but here's the letter. Aloha, Mayor Alameda. During a community meeting on March 27th, 2025, a local citizen voiced concern with you about the 2045 general plan. It is disturbing to many locals that he was not fully allowed to share his statement, and legitimate concerns were dismissed as conspiracy theory. A major concern with the general plan is how it models Agenda 21, which is a non binding action plan of the United Nations regarding sustainable development. Agenda 21 is an action agenda for the UN, other multilateral organizations, and individual governments around the world that can be executed at local, national, and global levels. It was created by non elected officials as a soft global governance that is not consistent with the rights of the people. For example, the exact same goals are stated for the sustainability principles and practices on both page 32 of the 2045 General Plan and on page 5 of Understanding Sustainable Development Agenda 21. The 2045 Hawaii General Plan is not simply a guide, it is the foundation and authority for the future of Hawaii Island and its generations to come. Page 33 of the general plan states at 1.5, section 1.5, the general plan also provides the legal basis for all the other elements of the county's planning structure. As such, the plan is the highest order or umbrella plan. It establishes the boundaries within which the county must operate. So the mayor said that the general plan's just a guidance, just a guideline. No, it's not. It's actually the legal basis for the structure of moving forward on Big Island. So then I show him, I have bullets of all the documentation, which I'll show you guys in a moment that I'm giving to him. The people of Hawaii County have deep concern about the implementation of the general plan and expressed these concerns over the course of 8 months of opposing testimony for the Leeward and Windward Planning Commission. The commissioners have largely ignored very relevant concerns concerning testimonies. Contrary to the 2005 general plan, because the mayor was like, we already have a plan. It's 2005. We already have a plan. This is just a guidance. But contrary to the 2005 general plan, the 2045 general plan contains a great deal of ambiguous language. And I'm not done with that letter, but I do want to show you guys, because I do have a letter or a testimony from Jeff Darrow, the planning director. Thank you, Megan, for this. And it says, concerning levels of ambiguity, confusion, and contradictions are expressed by Planning Director Jeff Darrow, explaining that the reassignment of general land use recommended in the plan is definitely not, he says, it's not rezoning. But, because then he says, but then again, it kind of is. This is what he said. This was his exact words. It's not rezoning, but then again, it kind of is. What it does is it sets up the land use title will set up the what you can zone, what that area can be zoned. So I state that in the letter. I'll read that just one more time. The commissioners have largely ignored very relevant and concerning testimonies. Contrary to the 2005 general plan, the 2045 general plan contains a great deal of ambiguous language. This could lead to erosion of constitutional rights and government overreach. This had led several states and local governments to pass motions and legislation opposing Agenda 21. Tennessee enacted legislation in 2023 to block the implementation of Agenda 21 and other programs originating in or traceable to the United Nations or a subsidiary entity of the United Nations. On March 7th, 2025, the United States rejected the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And I do have, I'm going to give him, there's also another, here it is, another document that was from Maine. So Maine legislator, the legislator from Maine actually also want to prohibit restriction on private property. They want to prohibit the United Nations Agenda 21 international laws. It says protection of private property rights, and this has been in Maine. And then the one in Tennessee I also have here as well, because Tennessee that I just read wants the UN out of their state, as well as the United States having rejected the United Nations. So this is all here as well. I have all of this printed out for the mayor. So let me finish off my letter. This one gets good. Another troubling fact is the 2045 general plan is based on an unproven climate change narrative. Officials could face penalties if they knowingly submit false claims under the False Claims Act found in 31 U.S. Code 3730. For example, the IPCC, I'm going to explain what that is, you guys. It's in the general plan, but it's not explained what it is. The IPCC, which is on page 56 of the general plan, is a UN-appointed foreign intergovernmental panel on climate change, touting that humans have unequivocally caused global warming. The findings of the IPCC panel, which I'll explain what that is, have been disputed by thousands of scientists and studies around worldwide. Therefore, implementation of the 2045 General Plan has been heavily influenced by foreign non-government entities. It could possibly be considered a treasonous act. We respectfully ask that you use your leadership to stand for the people by putting a pause on moving forward with the general plan to allow for meaningful public input and consider why the United States government and several states have rejected the UN Sustainability Development Goals. We appreciate your time and consideration on this very important issue. Concerned citizens of Hawaii County is how we signed it. So I want to kind of go through a little bit about what this is. If you guys have not signed the petition, I have over 570, but please sign the petition. In fact, I'll show it to you guys that opposes this plan. You can just go to standtogetherhawaii.com, standtogetherhawaii.com, then click on Hawaii GP, and then click on sign petition. And we have 574. So if you guys want to help out, please sign this petition for opposing the Hawaii General Plan. Also, what I wanted to share as well is the show you guys this, because I am giving him the entire printed out General Plan 2045 with tabs on every place that it says acquisition. Okay, look at these tabs, you guys. This is every place that says acquisition. There's 3 tabs that are not acquisition, but everything else that says acquisition is tabbed in this general plan. So I'll show you guys what that is too, right here. Let's see here, general plan. So the first one is land designated for acquisition by public agencies for conservation and natural resource protection. You know, this is really sad because I also have a couple of letters that are from locals. My sister gave these to me that tell the mayor that they've gotten letters from the oh, where is it? I'm going to pause the recording and find that for you guys really fast. Okay, my sister laminated these. Thanks, Beck. One of them says it's going to change agriculture to recreation, the land use. So agriculture to recreation. And then another one is changing agriculture to conservation, which is very concerning. And these are letters from the county council, the planning department not county council, excuse me. These are letters from the planning department to residents here on Big Island telling them that their land use is going to change. Both of them were agriculture. Both of them are changing. One is changing to recreation. One is changing to conservation. The conservation one is really concerning to me because the conservation is most of Big Island. And let me show you guys this. You see all the teal, everything in teal is conservation, which is most of the Big Island. I'm sorry, it's this one. This is the one. The other one was the old one. Everything in teal is conservation. The general plan manager told me that only state land is going to turn to conservation. Only state land. Well, then why is this person getting a letter from the planning department that says their agriculture land is going to turn to conservation? When you have conservation, you can only have a park. You cannot grow food. You cannot build things. So why is this person's land going from agriculture to conservation? This letter based from the planning department. Very concerning on that one. Also, there was a mistake on this plan. There was a mistake. This one person checked their zoning or their land use on here on this map and goes, wait, it's conservation. It's urban development land use was accidentally changed to conservation. Again, the planning department manager said that only state land was going to be conservation, but now we have agriculture land conservation. And this person had a mistake. They found their area, which is an urban land use, accidentally changed to conservation. He went in to talk to the planning department, talked to the manager, and the manager says, oh, I'm sorry, that's an oversight. Oh, that was an oversight. This is the final draft. There should not be any more oversights. Are there more oversights that we don't know about? This plan needs to stop. It needs to not go through. So that is what I'm sharing, as well as, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you guys. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the how many times acquisitions in this freaking plan. So acquisition, this is critical environmental areas, land designated for acquisition by public agencies. What does that mean, everybody? This whole thing is really vague, and acquisitions written 6 times. Let's see where else it's written. I think it's more than that because acquire is also another word for it. So I'm going to reset it because it's not working for me. So let me show you guys where acquisition is written here. Find and then acquisition. Here we go. Immediate steps shall be taken to designate treatment plants. Okay, that one's about treatment plants and sewers. According to facilities to facilitate their acquisition. So they're looking for more sewage plants. I don't think this one's a big deal. Then we have prioritize park acquisition and improvements. That's I'm not sure about that one. Prioritize park acquisition and improve the and improvements that involve underrepresented open recreation and healthy living. So prioritize park acquisition. I'm not sure what that means around that. Providing funding for planning and acquisition, if necessary. This is the part that concerns me. Providing funding for planning and acquisition, if necessary, of key corridor segments after corridor zone plans are adopted. Provide funding for planning and acquisition of like what? And then planning manager told me it's only people who want to sell their land or have the state acquire it. I'm like, since when does the government only grab land that people want? This one's really concerning that people want to sell. Since when? Maintain an ongoing program of identification, designation, and acquisition of areas with existing or potential recreation resources. Da da da. Maintain ongoing identification, designation, and acquisition. What that's about is if you go to the planning department and you want to rebuild and you want to tell them what's on your land, they're going to be inventorying it. They're going to be inventorying it for possible acquisition. That's what that means, everybody. There's another one in here around that. Let's see here. Acquisition here. Acquisition priorities, community development plans identify priority acquisition properties for consideration in the county public access open space natural resources preservation program. So candidate parcels for this program include, and then it goes through that. So I want to do acquire as well. Acquire, the food security is not, I don't think, a bad one. Identify, preserve, and or acquire corridors for future transit use. So it's this word, these words support the state's objectives to acquire rights within the runway clear zones. Okay, that's about that. Not harbors. That doesn't bother me. Seek to acquire public lands to support the consistent land uses surrounding educational facilities. Seek to acquire. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Uh, okay. So there's a lot of concerning things, but I just wanted to share with you guys that. I also have that I'm going to share with the mayor testimonies. I've printed out some testimonies of people, highlighted certain areas that I feel he should look at, as well as I wrote out because this is what someone sent me, understanding the term conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory was created in 1963 by the CIA to discredit anyone questioning the narrative of the John F. Kennedy assassination. There are two reasons to use this term. One, this was, and somebody sent this to me. Thank you. Can't remember who it was. Deliberately ob- obf- obfuscating reality for nefarious purposes by sabotaging or short-circuiting an honest examination of evidence. And the second reason, unknowingly discrediting people who are critical thinkers going beyond the mainstream narrative to examine and find the truth. That's all we're doing. We're reading through this thing. I got it highlighted and tabbed and everything. The Hawaii people are for exposing conspiracy realities, like the overthrow of the Queen, as an early example. Many people have spent hours and days going through the Hawaii General Plan. They have gone to meetings many times only to have their concerns ignored and be considered a conspiracy theorist. That is not Pono, which means it's not right. Not one person has shown up to the planning meeting in full support of this plan, stating they helped create it, and want to see it move forward in its entirety. People have come to the meetings crying, saying that the plan will lower their property value, which takes away money from them and future generations. That's criminal, in my view. That's a criminal act to take wealth away from family members, away from family here on the island, to take wealth away without due process. Like that's not okay. People have come to the meetings explaining why they do not wish this plan to move forward. Many reasons, showing evidence that this plan was created by sources outside Hawaii Island. That is a treasonous act. If you have foreign governments telling you how to run and create your general plan, that is a treasonous act because we need to have people inside the state creating the plan. And and I wrote some other, just few other things, but this whole thing. And then I also have the whole understanding, this understanding statement, understanding sustainable development agenda 21. This is all printed out. It also has in the back, it has two reports. One is the climatology of Haleakala on Maui, and this was dated July 2015 by the Pacific Corporative Studies United, the University of Hawaii, Manoa. And this literally shows a graph that Haleakala, the mountain Haleakala, the volcano, is actually is cooling, not heating up. Then here we have solar activity and climate, how the sun, is more in control of the warming of the planet than people. And then also, I have one more thing that I wanted to show you guys, which is where is it? All right, oh, it's right here. Weather modification and climate experts. In here, I have the Milekovich cycle by Dr. David Dilley, who was a 50-year meteorologist. Also, John Coleman, who was the first weatherman and the co-founder of the Weather Channel, first weatherman on Good Morning America in the 1970s, and the co-founder of the Weather Channel, stating there's no significant man-made global warming. Then I also have the CO2, showing the graph of the CO2 and how the CO2, this is really crucial. CO2 is right here, and it's slightly above 200, it's probably about 300 right there. The CO2 was higher during the Cretaceous period, which is where we had a lot of greenery. The plants were huge, a lot of greenery. Why? Because plants breathe carbon dioxide. If this line, if the carbon drops to below 182 parts per million, if our carbon drops below 182 parts per million, humans will die. Humans will die, okay? Because plants will die, and that's just the way it works. So we don't have too much carbon. We have too little. Look at this graph. We need more. We need more carbon. So this carbon sequestration, where they want to sequester carbon, not okay, everybody. Then I have the truth about Al Gore's film. He did a film, An Inconvenient Truth on Global Warming, and this was taken to court, and a British judge found 9 errors, 9 in his Inconvenient Truth documentary film. Then I also have this is from the National Library of Medicine, showing the modern ground solar minimum will lead to terrestrial cooling, which means the Earth is cooling. Again, another source, National Library of Medicine. Then I have the Weather Modification Act of 1976, because nobody, when they talk about climate change, they don't talk about the Weather Modification Act. Now there's hundreds of patents, including this one, the first one in 1891. And I just put this in here because I'm like, this weather modification has been going on a very long time. Then I also have other patents for the weather. And then I also have shared that with you guys, one last thing, which is my most favorite thing of all. Well, not most favorite, but one of the favorites. And it is, where is it? Let me pause the recording so I can find it. There is no climate emergency. This is signed by 1,983 credentialed scientists around the world, and it literally shows what country, their flag, with the name of the person and with their credentials. And this is all the people that have signed this climate declaration. And this basically says that there is no climate emergency. Climate science should be less political, while climate policies should be more scientific. Scientists should openly address uncertainties and exaggerations in their predictions of global warming, while politicians should dispassionately count the real costs as well as the imagined benefits of their policy measures. So this whole thing, our advice to the world leaders is that the science should strive for significantly better understanding of the climate system, while politics should focus on minimizing potential climate damage by prioritizing adaptation strategies based on proven and affordable technologies. And so I've giving him this as well. That's what's going on today, you guys. I'm going to do a part 2 of this, let you guys know how it went. Auntie Calais is coming with me, and hopefully Pastor Kevin will be coming with me as well, and talking to the mayor about the Hawaii General Plan. If you have not joined Stand Together Hawaii, please do so. Please sign the petition. If you want to donate to my printing costs, this costs, I think, about $200 or something. So if anybody wants to donate to my printing costs, which some people already have, thank you, Joni and Eddie, and some other people too. So my apologies for not remembering your names, but always appreciate the donations to help me do this work. Okay, everybody, standtogetherhawaii.com. Much mahalo, and let's pray. Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things, mahalo for this opportunity to meet with the mayor, that we turn his heart, we open his heart to seeing really the truth about what is happening here on Big Island. I know that he wants to do what's right by the people. I know he does. He grew up here in Hilo. I know he loves this island. I know he loves the people here. He used to be a school counselor. He was an education teacher, special education teacher. He's got a heart for this island and for the people, Great Spirit. And I just know that he's going to see this evidence and he's going to say, you're right, the Hawaii General Plan, we need to just take a step back and pause. It does not need to go forward. And so many people on the islands, so many people on this island have stood up for what is right and for the future of our keiki and for the future of the aina here, of the land. And we've said, no, we do not consent. We do not consent. We do not consent. So thank you so much, Great Spirit, for this opportunity. I know that I go in there with not only my ohana, my family, but with also guides and angels, his higher self, my higher self, all of our guides and angels that support us to have an amazing meeting, one that benefits all people on the islands and the future of this amazing big island. Thank you so much, Great Spirit. And so it is. Sending you so much aloha. Mahalo, everyone, for signing the petition. StandTogetherHawaii.com. Hey, I forgot to explain IPCC to you guys, and I said I would. So let me go ahead and do that really fast. This is in the general plan. I'm going to show you which page it's on. It's on page 56, and this is the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. IPCC has concluded its most recent report that human activities have unequivocally caused global warming. This is the IPCC, International Governmental. This is an outside governmental, foreign government. This is an outside governmental agency that is bringing in their research. And IPCC, I'll actually show you guys this as well. That in there, their website, because they were basically the International Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is the United Nations body for assessing the science relating to climate change. So the United Nations say that there's climate change, and they actually funded this panel to give them science to prove that they're right. So that's a bit of a conflict of interest, wouldn't you say? And that was my point, is that the IPCC is not Hawaii related. It's not part of the state. It's not part of the Big Island. It is an outside government foreign agency, and we can't do that. We can't allow government agencies outside of the United States or Hawaii Kingdom to create our plan, our general plan. That is a treasonous act by doing that. So I wanted to state that, as well as the fact that we have weather modification, and I know I've already mentioned that many times. So I just thought I'd throw that into this video as well. Okay, aloha.